Alright, so apparently I've recorded 2 videos, and apparently when I record them and I'm on my way home, smart Wi-Fi kicks it out while it's uploading. And when I go to work, I go somewhere that essentially kills the signal. So we're going to do this now. I'm not heading to work. I'm not heading home. We're heading to figure out where my UPS package is. I ordered a Milwaukee air compressor that's supposed to be able to fill a 35 psi tire up in 1 minute, and it's battery powered, and it's the same battery I normally use. So I'm hoping I can figure out where it is, because it's not at a UPS store. According to the UPS thing, it says it's at a facility that accepts UPS packages for waiting, is what it says. So I'm not sure. But I'm just going to start with the video that was supposed to be uploaded next that didn't upload. And that was from the right to the right, from the left to the left. It's a general understood rule for people that have common sense. Apparently that's what it needs to follow this route, common sense. And apparently a lot of people don't have it. If you're making a right turn on any road that has more than one lane in one direction of travel, you always stay to the right side. If you're making a left turn onto a road that has the same flow of traffic with multiple lanes, you stay in the left lane, or the furthest most lane to the left. The reason for this is 2 reasons. One, people, if you're making a left turn onto a road, the people that are on the oncoming lane that are making a right turn on that road do not yield for you. Which I will actually get to that in just a second, because it also comes with that. Same difference. People that when you're coming from a right turn to the right, unless you're at a stop sign, like right here, right now, this is a stop sign. Of course, this doesn't count because it's only one lane of travel. But unless you're at a stop sign or a stop light, that's the only time you yield to the traffic that's turning into the way you want to go. Essentially, if you have a yield sign, you do not yield to the people that are turning left to get on the road that you're on, because they're supposed to be making the left turn and staying in the left lane. You are supposed to be merging into that lane, going into the right lane. The yield sign is for cars that are already on that road, and you're yielding to them. You don't yield to oncoming traffic that are trying to get on your road. You yield to traffic that's already on that road that is going in that direction. And the reason why this system is set up this way is to keep the turn lanes from backing up the way they do. Like, you wouldn't believe the amount of turn lanes I've seen where people will back up like 8 car lengths because the car in front is sitting there absolutely just waiting and waiting and waiting until they get a clear go of all the cars going. Like, they'll sit at an intersection where even after the light turns green for their direction, for the turn lane, and the oncoming or the opposite lane of traffic is going, they will still sit there until the turn lane of the oncoming traffic has completely finished. Of course, by this time, you've backed up traffic so much that only 2 cars can go. Now, if you allow them to continue doing that by just sitting there and waiting, they're going to think they're right. Now, there are people like myself that if the light is turned and they're making their turns, and I'm in my right turn to merge on, I pull out. You can blow your horn at me, you can get upset, tailgate me all you want. You failed to yield by getting into the right lane when you were making a left turn. The only time that is admissible when you're making a left turn and getting into the right lane is you have to put your turn signal on, indicating that you want to merge into the right lane, I've been hitting every freaking light. I don't know why. But you have to indicate that you don't want to be in that lane that you're in. But here's the thing. Another rule of thumb is that you do not change lanes in the middle of an intersection. So essentially, you still have to go. Come on, go. Come on. Quit being scared. More scary people. But that was a totally different situation, though. I will actually touch on that on the next video on what just happened there. But essentially, you have to make people drive the way they're supposed to on top of driving for other people. Like, yes, most of the time you can make them do the way that you can make them get in the lane that they're supposed to get in most of the time. Of course, you do have those gray area people that I don't care what's right or wrong, I want to get to where I'm going, and no matter what, they won't go where they're supposed to go. You do have those, but most of the time you can get someone to get in the proper lane. Then most of the time this ends up happening where people notice this and freak out is when they're making a turn and the person that's in the other lane gets in their lane. By the way, the speed limit is 30 and we're doing this. And they're merging into the right lane without signaling. That is another lane. Yeah. And they're not even completely in that lane. They still stayed in this lane. So, but for instance, you see how that van is sticking out like it is? Yeah, that is because they've all tried to merge over into the left lane. Of course, that would be one of those gray areas. And the reason that's one of those gray areas is because I got the fan too high. Hold on. The reason that's one of the gray areas is because that's a left turn only lane. This lane here only goes, you know, straight and right. If I'm not mistaken, straight and right. Yeah, it's straight and right, and the lane they're in is all right. So, like, I'm making a right turn here. I get into the right lane, even though where I want to be is over here in the left lane. I can't just jump over there. I have to actually get into that number 1 line. Now, I can put my signal on and go over if it's clear to do so. However, by the way, what that car just did is illegal, but what I did is not illegal. So, if you can figure out why, even though we did the same thing, why what they did is illegal and what I did makes it not illegal, even though we did the same thing, I'm confusing you for a reason. If you can explain why what I did was not illegal and what they did is illegal, you get kudos. Because I promise you, 90% of the people, because I know it here, because even the police, I say half of them don't know what makes that illegal and what doesn't make that illegal. Because I've gone to court for doing exactly what we just did, and have never had a ticket stick, and there's a reason for it. There's a reason why. I don't know if that applies to other states, but in our state, it applies to that rule. So if you can figure that out in my next video, by my next video, so if I don't upload again today, it'll be tomorrow, to give, you know, anyone time to comment, if anyone comments, which I don't really care. But if you can, kudos. I will mention your name. No matter how many people put up, I will mention, if I have to, I'll get a notebook out and write them all down. But if you can, we'll see. We'll see how many people actually know what's the difference between following the rule book and modifying the rule book. And I'm going to have to make a complete 180, and I don't know if I should, I don't know. Oh, here's an idea. All right. My left signal is on. I am making a complete 180, but I'm doing what? I'm getting into the left lane, putting my right signal on, and I'm merging over. That is what from the left to the left is. That is what that means. So I now have to figure out where this place is that UPS took my package. Wish me luck, because this is going to be hell. Bye, guys.